So what are your favorite books to read about finance? I'd love to hear some of the favorite books that you have that have taught you the most about how money works, how to manage, protect, or grow your money. In this video, I'm going to share with you several books that changed my life, the trajectory of my career as a financial professional and coach. And then I'm going to share with you the books that I've read this year so far. I'm going to reveal those. And one of the books that I'm really looking forward to and anticipating reading, I've got a couple on my wish list as well to read, so I will mention those. But stay tuned to the book that I'm looking forward to most coming out at the end of this year. My name is Cluff, and I'm a financial coach, and I love helping people manage, protect, and grow their money. And one of the things that I've learned over the years is that books have a significant impact on our lives. And I want to share with you some of the books that have impacted me in my financial planning personally and in my financial planning practice as a coach. So many years ago, I was actually qualified for the 401k at my work, and I wanted to know more about what to do with my money. And so I started reading a lot of books about finance, about money, about how to invest, how to pick stocks, things like that, just stuff to get ready for when I qualified for the 401k and could actually pick my investments. And one of the books that I read at that time that stands out the most, I mean, I read probably several books that for probably half a dozen books easily in a month or two to get ready for that situation. And the one that really stands out the most is one called Multiple Streams of Income by Robert Allen. And one of the things that kind of blew my mind was where he taught about the rule of 72. And that just blew my mind. I was like, wow, there's a chance to have my money double in the market if I use and get the right rates of return. And that really set me on a course to make sure that I'm always getting the best rate of return on my money and that my risk reward ratio is really in balance. And so that one was one of the first books that really influenced my life. I couldn't find it on my shelf, so I got a picture of it right here. So hopefully if you've never read that book or heard of that, Robert Allen, I actually saw him on a podcast recently. So I know he's still out there and he's still doing well. One of the next books that, of course, is a staple for almost anybody and everybody is Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That book opened my mind to the idea of entrepreneurialism, building my own business, and really venturing out away from the corporate traditional, go to school, get a good job, get a degree, all that kind of stuff. It really kind of gave me the idea that, wait a minute, there's a whole world out there in entrepreneurship. So that was a critical book for me as well. Again, I couldn't find it on my shelf, but here's a picture of it. And I'm telling you that these are books that if you read them, they will absolutely open your mind and change the way you think about finances, about money, about what's possible for you in building your wealth and building towards your massive bank account. Another really important book that has changed the lives of millions of people, almost everybody that I've talked to that's read this book has had their life changed because of it. And that book is The Millionaire Next Door. This book was so eye-opening to what millionaires really are like, some of the myths that we have around millionaires and who are the millionaires and what do they do and what do they think and how do they buy things and how do they consume, how do they save, how do they invest. This book answered a lot of those questions. Have you read The Millionaire Next Door? If you have, comment below what and how it influenced you. And while you're on your way down, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. The first one that I read this year was I Will Teach You to Be Rich by a guy named Ramit Sethi. He talks a lot about how to really set up your financial goals first and really get clear on what you want your best financial life to be. And I really think that's strong and powerful, and I believe that's one of the first steps. Again, I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi, another great book. So one thing that I hear a lot from people is that they believe that they're not good at money because they're not good at math. And I believe that money has more to do with behaviors and beliefs and really your psychology than it does with math. And this book, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, really validated that belief that I have had for many years. And he really quantifies it. He really explains it well. There's several chapters in here that I was just like, yes, 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 this is exactly right. Behavioral finance is important. We need to know why we're doing the things that we're doing. If I get you out of debt, but you haven't changed the habits, the beliefs that you have around money, you're likely going to go right back into debt. If I help you set a plan or a goal to get to financial freedom, but you don't know why you really want that, or if it's not something that's really a desire for you to obtain, then you're probably not going to do what it takes, or the first temptation that you have to buy or consume something and spend that money that you should have been saving or investing, you're going to be overcome by that temptation. So psychology of money is critical. Why do you want to be financially free? Why do you want to have a massive bank account? Once you know why, then the how will make sense and become much easier. And I believe that if you read The Psychology of Money, you'll understand more about some of the reasons why you're doing and spending and consuming and managing money the way you are. If you have read this book and you have some insights already, I'd love to hear in the comments below. If you haven't read this book, click the link in the description and pick up a copy, and then come back and tell me some of the insights that you had after reading it. So the next book I want to share with you is actually a follow-up to The Millionaire Next Door. It's a book that was written 20 years later, and it was a follow-up to find out, to see if all of the information that they had found in the original book still held true 20 years later, with all the new technology, with all the new opportunities, with the internet and everything else. So it's really kind of a nice, it's a great book that gives you the ability to see that all of those same things that it took 20 years ago, or in the late 90s, now it's been more than that, but in the late 90s, all of the same things that it takes to become a millionaire are the same. It's not a new stock market. It's not a new economy. It's actually discipline, confidence, entrepreneurship, things like that. It's actually characteristics that create millionaires, not necessarily different economic seasons. So that book is called The Next Millionaire Next Door, which is the follow-up to The Millionaire Next Door. I really love this book. It's one of my faves. I'm probably going to read it every year. If you want to know if you have what it takes to become a millionaire, there's a survey actually that I have in the description for you to take. It's really neat. It's really cool, very insightful, and it will give you some cool feedback onto whether or not you have what it takes to become the next millionaire next door. Take that survey. If you've read the book, The Next Millionaire Next Door, put a comment below. Let me know what your insights were. If you haven't read it, click the link and pick up a copy. So the book I'm currently reading, about to finish actually, is called The Millionaire Mind. It's written by the same guy, Dr. Thomas Stanley, the same guy who wrote The Millionaire Next Door. In this book, he goes into the mindset, what millionaires believe about life in general, about marriage, about why they pick the houses they pick, why they live in the neighborhoods they live in, why they choose the businesses that they've chosen, why do they go into that career. So The Millionaire Mind is a fantastic book that talks to you about what kind of thoughts, feelings, attitudes, emotions, what thought processes go into what millionaires do to determine how to live their life. So you may or may not be familiar with the FIRE movement, which is Financial Independence, Retire Early. A good friend of mine, actually, that I just found out, he's pretty much done that. He shared with me this book, and this is a book that he gave me, and I'm going to read it next. It's The Boglehead's Guide to Investing. Apparently the Bogles are the ones that founded and started Vanguard. And so I'm excited to read this book next. Have you read The Boglehead's Guide to Investing? Are you a boglehead? Boglehead, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. I hope I am. Anyways, if you have, make sure that you comment below. Let me know your insights. Let me know what I have to look forward to. If you haven't, maybe we can read it together and do a little book club or something. So pick up the Boglehead's Guide to Investing, 2nd edition, in the description below. So a couple books that I have on my wish list at Amazon. Well, just two I'm going to talk to you about for sake of time. One is The Millionaire Fastlane. So I'm checking out that one next. And later this year, I promised that I would share with you a book that I'm really anticipating coming out. The reason why is because I know the authors. I've followed the authors on social media for a while, at least Dr. Brad Klontz. He actually developed the money personalities. He created 4 money personalities and created a whole just way to think about why you treat money the way you treat it as you fall into these 4 money categories. But he partnered with another guy who's really good at making money. This guy is one of the key guys in the world for helping people make more money, and his name is Adrian Brambilla. And he's got the Brambilla method. I'm sure you could search him up and find him. He's got hundreds of thousands of people on his YouTube channel as well. So they co-authored a book that I'm really anticipating. I'm really excited about. I hope that you guys can be excited as I am. Go check it out. It's called Start Thinking Rich. And I'll put a picture of it here. And there's definitely a link for you to pre-order in the description below. Go pre-order it. And what's really cool is that once you pre-order it, you actually will have an invitation, or I can get you an invitation to a group where Adrian and Dr. Brad Klontz are going to be teaching us and showing us, and actually a community where we can talk and discuss and actually get some questions answered as we're reading the book. So if you want to be in that community, if you go click the link, pre-order the book, shoot me a message at paris@pariscluff.com. Let me know that you've ordered the book, and I'll shoot you a link where you can actually sign up for the community to really help you start thinking rich and moving towards building your massive bank account. Until the next video, make sure you are doing everything that you can to get disciplined with your spending and build towards your massive bank account. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you soon.